Good morning. How's it going? I just wanted to do a little bit of a update and well, I guess it's not an update, but we're gonna start off talking about these as something different. Um, I recently changed from these Laredo Chinese-made cowboy boots I've worn for a really long time. Didn't get them new, but I've had them working with me now for probably over 2 or 3 years now, and yeah, they're getting pretty wore out, as you can tell. I mean, the soles are all worn out and everything like that. They're pretty much done for. The leather is decent, but you know, they're coming to the close basically on their lifespan. And with that, I wanted to try a different brand out. I've tried a few different ones out. I've tried these are Laredos, as I said, they're made in China. And I had some Justins, and I believe they're either Chinese or Mexican. I'm not sure where they're made, but they also kind of wore out on me after quite a bit, and I wanted to try to find something that was a little more hardy and something that was going to work a little bit better for me on the daily job and stuff. So anyway, this is my thoughts on the Hyer boots. These are made in Kansas, and this particular pair is called the Stafford. So I think all their boots are made in or all the boots are named after cities in Kansas. That's originally where they're based out of. I think it's C.H. Hyer. He actually started the company back in the, well, I'm not sure the exact date, but it's been around, I guess, 1875. How about that, if you read the tag? So, Kansas City, he invented the cowboy boot, I guess, and so they've come back, and I guess it's the great-great-grandson is the one who's doing these and revamping the company and making them again. So, yeah, so anyway, these are kind of my thoughts on them so far. I've only had them for about a week or so, and I think that they've been holding up really, really well so far. You know, time will tell as to how they withstand all the abuse. Right now, I'm a ranch/farm hand in eastern Montana, so you know, I get into a lot of different stuff every day, and that requires different tasks. You know, one thing, their slogans ride higher, and I don't have a horseback position right now, so I don't actually have a chance to really try these and you know, see how they work on horseback or anything like that. Mine's more of a ranch duty and, you know, kind of farming and equipment running, all that kind of jazz. So from my observations so far, there's a few things I really like about these. The construction on the bottom, I know, is all wood pegs and just straight grain leather, which I like. So the original construction with these pegs is that so that when you wear down the soles a lot, it'll the wood will wear down with the leather evenly and stuff, instead of having, you know, like nails and stuff like that where they're gonna hold fast a lot better and kind of poke through, and they might even fall out. So really cool old construction with these boots. I think they'll hold up well that way. I like that the sole has a little bit of grip texture to it, just a hair, you know. It's not as grippy as some of my other ones. My Justins that I had, actually, they had quite a bit of grip to the bottom, which I liked. I could even wear those in the wintertime most of the time, and I wouldn't be slipping around. I know these probably won't work that way as far as that goes because of the leather front sole here, and this just isn't enough grip, I think, to handle that kind of stuff. So I'll probably be wearing my Nicks by the wintertime anyway. So these have this little bit of grooving here and some kind of like textured in the back of the sole a little bit. I haven't had much trouble with it. I think it's been fine for what I've been doing, you know. As far as styling goes, I love the colors and the style that they do. These are a cutter toe that they use on the front here. So it's not a traditional round or a square. It's somewhere right in between. And, you know, I think stylistically they look pretty good, you know. I know originally a lot of their dress boots and such, they were all kind of round toes, pointed toes. And, you know, they were still good for the time, but they've kind of revamped it for a working man or working woman, whoever. And I like what they've done with it. I think it looks good. This is a chocolate shaft on here. It kind of looks more black than anything, but it's actually a really, really dark brown chocolate color. And then these are actually, when I looked at them online, I thought that they were actually supposed to come out a little more tan, but they actually have kind of patinaed and gotten really dark. I threw a little bit of Bic 4 conditioner on here actually when I first got them, just as a, you know, kind of a break-in thing. I wanted to make sure they were up to snuff and, you know, conditioned and stuff before I started using them. So That's been pretty good for me as far as that goes. I like the color that it's turned into, you know, and they'll maybe lighten up over time into something, maybe not quite this much, but something near there. So another nice thing about these, on the insides of the shafts, I think this is goat skin here, and it's really soft and supple stuff. So when you wear these without without long socks and stuff like that, they'll actually not rub your leg or anything like that if you wanted to. I don't wear super crazy tall socks. I usually wear, you know, something where it just kind of covers the up over the shaft a little bit, but a lot of the times it'll, you know, fall down throughout your day and you'll feel it anyway, and it doesn't bother me at all. And that was one thing I liked about these. They were kind of the same deal, where it was a pretty soft leather on the inside and padded almost, so they did pretty good for me. Same deal. One thing I liked also is that I think these had a little bit of padding in them, but it's so wore out now that, you know, it's pretty much non-existent. And I ended up cutting pieces of leather myself to put in there so that I had a little bit more of a sole to it. And it got me through the last few months here of using them before I had to switch them over. And so that being said, these Hyers, they come with a nice cushioned sole in here. And already I can see there's a little bit of cracking right here in this sole. So I don't know, I mean, that's kind of, I guess, typical. I really haven't worn these all that long, so I was hoping that this would last a little bit longer, but from kneeling down, I think probably did a little bit of crunching on this. However, it's extremely comfortable. I wear them, you know, all day long, and 10-hour days at least, and they do pretty good for me. I haven't had any trouble with getting sore or anything like that. And you know, I think that really helps a lot, you know, unless you're going to be wearing them as just a dress boot, you know, for on the night or on the town occasions. I like to have a little bit of cushion in there. I wish I could have fit something in here. Actually, I probably should have got some insoles a long time ago, but anyways, yeah, I don't know if there's anything else I really wanted to cover about these boots. The heel is really great on these. I think it's not too high, not too short. I'm not really sure what the actual measurement is. If I had to guess, you know, maybe be at least an inch and a half, maybe 1.75 inches. And they actually throw this shelf on here to ride with spurs. So as I said, I don't have a riding position right now, but when the time comes, if I do get to try those out, that would be great. I've seen them with a lot of people ride spurs on these Hyers, and they seem to like it quite a bit. So yeah, one day maybe. One thing I do, you know, I kind of wanted to get across with this is, you know how I am about made in the United States kind of products and tools and stuff like that. These are made in Mexico right now, but I realized, or I saw online, I think that the great grandson, he had talked about how he wanted to push production into the United States at some point, but the quality or the cost of it was just going to be too high to do it in the States as a revamp for the company. So, but I got no problem with made in Mexico boots. I think they're great. The quality is fantastic. You know, even here, this is usually a like plastic tubing that they'll use with a sheet of leather over it, and supposedly these are all pieces of leather right here, like a welt put in there, so even that part of it will stand up, you know, a lot better, I think. You know, I've had a few where this doesn't even have one. These are actually just sewn together, but this is already starting to split really bad on that side, on this side. And that's where I usually see a lot of the problems with my boots, is that they'll start to split kind of right here near the heel almost. So yeah, anyways, closing thoughts. I'm gonna probably, you know, be busting these around for quite a long time. I think I'm sure the quality will you know, show me what it's capable of over time, and I look forward to doing another update on this at some point. So stay tuned. If you like this, like it down below, comment down below, let me know what you thought about the video, the Hyers, share it with your friends, all that good stuff, and we'll see you in the next one. All right.